Imagine a war fought, not over land, not over religion, but over drugs. In the 1800s, one of the world's greatest empires, the British, forced another great civilization, the Chinese, to accept opium, a highly addictive drug, as trade. The result? Two brutal wars that reshaped global politics and left scars that still echo today. This is the story of the Opium Wars. In the late 1700s and early 1800s, China under the Qing Dynasty was a rich and powerful empire. The world craved its silk, porcelain, and most of all, its tea. But there was a problem. China didn't want anything from the West. The Qing court considered European goods inferior, so trade flowed one way: silver into China, tea out to Britain. The British East India Company faced a huge trade deficit. They needed something the Chinese would buy, and they found the perfect product in India: opium. By the early 1800s, opium smuggling into China exploded. What started as small trade soon became an epidemic. Millions of Chinese, from farmers to officials, became addicted. Productivity collapsed, silver flowed out of China, and society was in crisis. China wanted to stop this poison. Britain wanted to expand it. In 1839, the Qing Emperor appointed an incorruptible official, Commissioner Lin Zizhu, to end the opium scourge. Lin launched a fierce crackdown, seizing opium, jailing dealers, and writing powerful letters to Queen Victoria herself, pleading for morality over profit. But Britain ignored him. When Lin's forces destroyed over 20,000 chests of opium in Canton, worth millions of pounds, the British government declared war. The stage was set. One empire fighting to protect its people, another empire fighting to protect its profits. The war revealed the brutal imbalance of power. China's army still relied on swords, spears, and old cannons. Britain brought steam-powered warships, modern rifles, and naval artillery. In battle after battle, Britain's superior technology crushed the Qing defenses. Coastal forts fell, Chinese fleets burned, and cities were bombarded. After 3 years of fighting, China was forced to surrender. The Treaty of Nanking in 1842 was devastating. China had to pay huge reparations. 5 major ports were opened to British merchants, and most humiliating of all, China ceded Hong Kong to Britain. It was the beginning of what Chinese history calls the century of humiliation. But the humiliation didn't stop there. Less than 15 years later, Britain wanted even more access to Chinese markets, and this time, France joined in. The Second Opium War erupted in 1856. Once again, the Qing tried to resist, and once again, modern Western firepower crushed them. In 1860, British and French forces marched straight into Beijing. They looted, destroyed, and famously burned the emperor's summer palace, a masterpiece of Chinese culture. The new treaties were even harsher. More ports opened. Foreigners could travel freely in China. Missionaries gained rights. And the opium trade itself was legalized. China was broken, its sovereignty shattered. The Opium Wars weren't just military defeats, they transformed China. The loss of control over its own trade weakened the Qing dynasty. Silver drained away, millions remained addicted, resentment against foreign powers grew, fueling uprisings like the Taiping Rebellion, one of the deadliest civil wars in history. For Britain, the wars brought vast profits. For China, they marked the start of a century of exploitation by Western powers and later Japan. Even today, the memory of the Opium Wars shapes China's nationalism and its view of the West. To this day, the phrase unequal treaties carries deep meaning in Chinese politics. The Opium Wars were not just about drugs, They were about greed, empire, and the collision of East and West. A clash where one nation fought to protect its people and another fought to expand its profits, no matter the human cost. And the consequences reshaped global history, leaving lessons about power, trade, and morality that still matter today. So the next time you sip a cup of tea, remember, behind that simple drink once lay a war that changed the fate of nations. What other hidden stories from history should we uncover next?